adding rational expressions, children, you've actually been doing since you were in 5th grade. Okay? Unfortunately, you haven't been doing it like we're going to do it today. Well, you haven't been doing it like we've been doing it. You haven't been doing it with the stuff that we're doing today. And I'm going to take you way back into the deep recesses of your mind, and we're going to do a problem. And I want you to think about the steps that we do to do this problem, because that's the steps we're going to do the new problems. In other words, this: if you have, let's just say you're adding 3/8 plus 1/4. I'll go back to the basics here. Back in 5th grade, step number 1 was to do what, Alyssa Smiley? Yes, write it up and down.
Should we write these steps?
Yep, because I want you to think about them as we do this. So your first thing is you're going to take 3/8 plus 1/4. Okay? Step number 2. Thank you very much. Find common denominators. Now, in reality, what is a common denominator called? It's the least common multiple of the bottom. That's what a common denominator is. What is the smallest thing that both 8 and 4 go into?
8.
See how easy this is going to be a piece of cake. Okay.
This part's easy.
Step 3, and this is where you need to think a little bit. Step 3 was to make equal fractions with that. Make equal fractions. In other words, do this. 4 times 2 is 8, so 1 times 2 is 2. 8 times 1, 3 times 1. Step 4, thank you very much, add or subtract the tops, which is the numerator, and you keep the bottom the same. So in other words, you add the two top numbers together. 3 plus 2 is 5, and the bottom number stays in 8. And you have just successfully, well, then step number 5, simplify. Reduce if you can, but we'll call it simplifying because simply simplify. Okay, got that? That should not confuse you because we've done this for absolutely ever. Now, let's change what we're adding together and make it something that looks like this. Here, 2h to the 4th. Wait, maybe that's not right. So, yeah, it's 2h to the 4 over 6h plus 4h squared over 2h squared. What did I say? Over what? 2h squared.
Did we do this in like a math contest?
I don't know if you did or not. Alright, I want you to follow the same exact steps we just used. We need to add these together, and you can't add them together because they don't have like denominators. So you just can't put them together as they are. You need to do this. H to the 4th over 6h plus 4h squared over 2h squared. Okay, right up and down, first step. Your second step, you need to find common denominators or the least common multiple of the bottoms. If you have a 6h and a 2h squared, what is the least common multiple of that? Well, let's do the numbers first. The smallest thing that 2 and 6 go into are 6, and the smallest thing that h and h squared go into are h squared. Okay, because in h squared, you want to put an h there, but you can't go from an h squared to just a singular h. You have to go move it up, so it has to be h squared. Remember, when you do least common multiple, you take the most, the one that has the highest exponent. Okay, that's why you pick the 6, and that's why you pick the h squared. Step number 2 is done. Now comes the part where it seems like it confuses some people. Now you need to do, how do I go from this to this? I need to multiply by a 3. So you need to multiply the top by a 3, and that gives you 12h squared This one here I need to multiply by h, so I do multiply the top by an h, I get 2h to the 5th. So step number whatever that was is complete. I don't know what that is. Now, once you have common denominators, you add the tops together. And when I add 2h to the 5th plus 12h squared, I get Steph, I get anybody, I get, you can't put those terms together, they're not like terms. You have to write it like this, it's 2h to the 5th plus 12h squared. The only time you can put these together is if this would both be h to the 5th or both be h squared, and you can't, so it's not, so you have to write it like that, but it's all over just 6h squared. Now, unfortunately, we can simplify this. This can be simplified, but notice, again, this is like a culmination of so many things that we've done. You can't just cross this 6 off with that 12 because these are not factors of each other. In order to get something to cross off or to simplify, you need to make the top, there needs to be really parentheses with something times something, which means I need to factor out. What can I factor out of both of these?
2h squared.
2h squared. That would be in one parenthesis, and then in the other parenthesis it would be h to the 3rd, because you multiply that to get that, plus, I really should have left myself some more room, plus 6. Now you've got two factors on top, and now you can cross off if there's something on top that's like something on the bottom. For example, h squared crosses off with h squared. 2 crosses off with a 6 to leave you with a 3 on the bottom. And that's all that crosses off, and you're left with h cubed plus 6 over a 3. That is it in its simplified sort of form. And this would be a relatively easy problem. I hate to tell
It
you.
looks like it was
really hard.
Well, the next one's going to test you a little bit.
I'm gonna do that
You don't. I wouldn't even conceive of you doing the next one. Not yet. Eventually.
Can we try it first?
No, I don't even want to waste that kind of time. X plus 3 over x minus 4 plus, I hope it's plus, no it's not, sorry, it's minus.
I hate
There's so many things that could go wrong in this one. Over 2 over x squared plus x minus 20. Okay, where do we start here?
up and down.
Write it up and down. Thank you very much. I knew I'd get somebody there. So you get x plus 3 over x minus 4 minus 2 over x squared minus x minus 20. Unfortunately, here is where a small roadblock comes in, because if I'm looking to make equal or common denominators, or at least common multiples of the bottom, I've got some issues here. How would I make the least common multiple of the bottom? I knew that would draw a blank.
You take 5 on the bottom.
Katie? Yeah, Katie's looking in her book. Okay, first of all, this has to be looked at as one thing right there. That's like one parenthesis. What you want to do, because when you find least common multiple, you're taking, if you remember back when we did the real complicated ones, you factored them and you took the group that had the most of each factor. Well, you want to factor this in the hopes that one of the factors will be this, because if it is, then your life is a lot easier. So we're hoping that what times what gives me minus 20 when added together gives me negative x. Maybe it should be plus x. Let me see. I'm sorry.
4 minus 5.
Change this to a plus, because it is a plus. Yeah, you get a negative 4 times a positive 5 if you factor this. Okay, which means when I'm finding least common multiple, I take the group that has the most of each factor. Okay, which group has the most x minus 4s? Well, they both have 1, so we take just 1. Which group has the most x plus 5s? This one, so I take 1x plus 5. My least common multiple of the bottom is that, unfortunately.
So, okay, that's.
Yeah, it's okay.
I told you it gets, I didn't say it was, you are branching up here. Now comes the fun part.
So then what do you multiply?
To go from this to this, what do I need to multiply by?
By
It already is, so you multiply by 1. So on top is a minus 2 because of that negative out there. Here, I have an x minus 4. What do I need to multiply by? What am I missing?
X plus 5.
The x plus 5. So you have to multiply the top by an x plus 5. Now, I'm just going to say for right now, let's not multiply it out because when we simplify, you have to factor it back anyway. So, oh, you know what? Yeah, we do have to multiply it out. Can we multiply it out? What do you get if you multiply x plus 3 times x plus 5? FOIL gives you
X
squared
plus 5
plus 8x
plus what?
plus 15. Look at Katie looking in her book again. Do you want me to do that out for you? It's FOIL.
Actually,
You have x plus 3 times x plus 5. Your first term gives you x squared. Your two middle terms are 3x plus 5x. You got the 3x there and the 5x there. And then your last term are the two last ones plus 15. You put those together and it gives you the 8x. Now, I've got my bottom, which is x minus 4 times x plus 5. That's my denominator. On top, I add these two together, and I can put the 2 with the 15, or subtract the 2 from the 15, because those two are like terms. You're left with the x squared plus 8x. 15 minus 2 is plus 13
so then
on
you
top.
can't solve it after that.
Well, the only thing you could try is you could try to factor this down. Is there anything times itself to give you 13 when added together gives you 8? No, because the only factors of 13 are 13 and 1. So this, in reality, and you might have to multiply the bottom out. Katie, is that the answer they have?
Yeah.
X squared plus 8x plus 13 over x minus 4 times x plus 5. And that, unfortunately, children, I told you, that's one of the easier of the hard ones.
Do they always give us the hard ones?
No, they always give you the medium ones.
This is a medium one? Are you saying?
That's probably a harder one. They're not going to get a lot harder than that. Let me give you one that they do give you that's just, they just throw a little hitch into it here. 8 over v minus 4 plus v minus 7 over 4 minus v. Again, always start by writing them up and down. I don't know why. I might be the only person in the world that's going to do this. But I just like the way it pans out that way.
I remember when Mrs. Moore, like, when we do that mountain math or something like that, she was not to write up and down.
Depends on what you're doing. Maybe you're multiplying at the time.
No, it was.
Now, looking at this one, what do you notice? Alexandria, what do you notice here about the denominators?
They're both switch.
They're the same except opposites. How do you fix that?
Just change the multiply by 91.
You can flip these. You could make this its opposite. But in order to do that, you need to not only make this its opposite, you need to change this to a subtraction. Okay, because you need to, because that with that would make it back the other way. Two negatives make it positive back the way it was. Okay, but you don't switch the top. Don't do 3 of them. You might do this and a sign out in front, because that'll change it. Now it's actually a very easy problem because it already has common denominators. You could actually add this together as it is. Your denominator is v minus 4. What do you get on top if you have v minus 7 plus 8? Oh wait, no, this is all negative. This is actually a minus v plus 7 plus 8 on top.
So,
So you actually end up with a, well, you could write it maybe as 15 minus v over v minus 4. Katie, what's the book write it as?
v minus 15.
V minus 15? What did you do, v minus 15?
Because they did the opposite.
Oh, they switched this top one. And it doesn't matter, since they're all opposites, it doesn't really matter. This is,
So plus 15 would be right.
yep, that would all be the same thing, it's just backwards opposites, because the top is opposite, and the bottom is opposite, which means it's opposite. And I don't know why they didn't, I don't know why they switched that one as opposed to the other one. Now I will give you one to try on your own. How about this one? And Katie, you won't find the answer in the book for this one, so good luck. You wanna do a trinomial one? No. Let's do this one. Negative 3p over 6p squared plus 2p cubed over p to the fourth. And again, if you were doing this on a quiz, if you showed me at least that you got most of the steps, that I'd probably give you at least some credit for doing that. You wrote them up and down, if you tried to make something out of these, at least you get some. By the way, I believe you started the much more work series today.
Just our class?
That means we have to start right now. We need to check once you're more critical. Well, that would mean we flip-flop classes.
Yes! They're going out!
No, they play.
We play, I know.
Guys,
Yeah.
Okay, I play in the same position because I'm good.
Do this problem.
I pull out.
I go first.
Guys, White
This
Sox.
problem, we can talk about
Where are the
Mark.
White Sox at? Guys, White Sox same positions. Wait, guys, what did he keep? Yeah.
I call you way out now.
I call being right next to you. Right where I'm always right.
Yeah, because I was sure to you.
I don't
I
know.
was
Do the problem.
I'm over there.
Do the problem.
You're like shortstop. You're shortstop. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a joke. That's a Jewish of third and second, right? Yeah, yeah. Ooh, actually, nice.
Back and forth and two. Correct.
Correct.
Should look like this. Oh gosh, I should have stopped
Oh, you left that one.
Long time ago.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, should have